want you to look at declaration number 6.
Yes.
Can you read the first sentence?
I understand that my duty in providing written reports and giving evidence is to help court.
Right. So who is I? Is it Franco, Soba, or you?
Everyone who signs in this report.
That is,
I understand that my duty in providing written reports and giving evidence is to help court.
so I mean both of you.
I means the drop down, the Soba Franco reads it, signs, I read it and I sign.
That is why you say I.
Yes. And you can guide on what it should be, and we can listen to
No,
it.
it's not mine. Yo.
And that's what we do. I means Soba Franco, I Chiquita.
nagira ngo
It have been we. The signatories.
You can revise it to we if you want, but
hamwe nawe
And finally, you stand by your report.
I do.
Want to suggest to you your report is full of lies. Yes?
That's your suggestion. No.
No. Can you look at page 1 of your report?
kanso yagira ngo nshijeho ngo ripoti yijire shuba yagira ngo kiri
Items 4, 5, 8, 11, and 12. What were those speaking?
You said 4?
4, 5, 8, 11, and 12.
So, I have it. Sorry. So, 4 is OC-1, 5 is OC-2, 8 is M2, 11 is CS1, and
CS1
not detected,
and CS2.
not detected.
Right. Can you go to paragraph 5 of your report? Can you read it?
Components,
Hmm?
I'm reading it. Paragraph 5.
Yes.
Components, that's why I want you to read.
Before components.
Analysis summary.
Analysis summary. Read it.
Components of gunshot residues were detected in the test items submitted for analysis.
Right.
kanso yamgira ngo ashome mu report yejo aha page emwe yamgira ngo ashome namba 458
Is it true that gunshot residue was found in all the items submitted for gunshot residue?
It was detected in test items submitted, just like written here.
Please answer the question as I put it to you. Right?
Come
the
again.
question is, did you detect gunshot residue in all the items submitted to you?
No, as indicated here, gunshot residues were detected in test items submitted for analysis.
In M2 was one of the items sent to you for test of gunshot residue, correct?
M2 is indicated here as number 8. In this
Yes.
Yes.
Do you detect gunshot residue?
Were not detected.
So is the analysis summary entirely correct?
Analysis summary is okay. It says, I read to quote again,
Yes.
components of gunshot residues were detected in the test items submitted for analysis. When we come to the lab, in quality assurance terms, you either have exhibits or test items. But because for us to receive them internally, we don't know whether they're exhibits, we don't know where, so that's why we call them test items. If they come directly gateway to us, they're indicated as exhibits. When they come to us, they are blind, we don't know, call them test items.
You see, Jaffa, let me.
The analysis summary says that components of gunshot residues were detected in the test items submitted for analysis. What council is pushing me to say,
Please, in the forwarding internal memo, right, was M2, one of the items in which you were requested to carry out an examination.
yes,
What was the examination required?
gunshot residue.
Right. In item number 8 of your report, did you find gunshot residue on number M2?
Not detected.
yanambuuza ebintu ebibahiireyo kukyebera byaba byona akabifungamu.
That this summary of yours is not entirely correct. When you say components of gunshot residues were detected in the test items submitted for analysis. It's not entirely true. It's partly false.
It's true. To the best of my knowledge, it is true. Best of our writing and knowledge, it's true.
Kanso yambuuza ngu egyo ripoota eyahiireyo naakikiriza ngu byona tehikire obu yagira ngu ehikire kurugirira omu ebintu ebi bakozireho test omu laboratory.
Finally, in your report, do you indicate what you did you indicate where you sent the samples that were sent to you?
Come clear? I don't get your question.
You were given prepared samples for analysis, right?
You're looking
Carried out an examination, right? Did you send them back?
They are pieces of fabric, small pieces.
Did you send them back?
No.
Yambuuza ngu ebintu kuyaheze kubikyebera nashashagama kuyaheze kubikyebera akakigarrayo hi yarugire yagira ngu ngaaho.
I don't know.
If it pleases my lord, Ellison Karhanga is my name. You have a copy of your report,
Has been given to me if you're referring to this one.
but when you were last year in court, you came with your own copy and left the court with one. Did you do that today?
And check and see. But I can use this one. It's the same.
Yeah, but I want the court to be following. To see, I want the court to see it. I want to just know if you have yours.
I can double check and get this one here.
And my lord, with your indulgence, if I could also give a copy. The lady and gentleman assessor. Would you please take us to the page 2, the declaration, and read it?
Number 6, declaration. I understand that my duty in providing written reports and giving evidence is to help court, and that this duty overrides an obligation the party by whom I'm engaged. I confirm, have complied, and will continue to comply with my duty. I confirm that the facts stated in this report are within our knowledge. I've made clear that they are. I've made clear that they are.
You stand by it?
I stand by it.
Then so we have some peace. So just to be clear, is it your evidence that it is your duty to provide truthful written reports to this court?
That's true.
Is it your evidence that the facts in this report are within your knowledge?
Yes, they are.
Is it your evidence that you have made clear those facts in this report?
Yes, I have.
Is it your evidence that those facts are true and that you believe them to be true?
They are true to the best of my knowledge.
I'm just speaking from here. Is it your evidence that these facts are true and that you believe them to be true as you stated in your declaration?
Yes.
As at the date of your report, you stated that you had not entered into any arrangement where any relationship is dependent on the outcome of this case. Was that true on that date?
Come again.
Your report says that you have not entered into any arrangement where any relationship is any way dependent on the outcome of this case, right?
That's true.
And that was true as of the date of your report, right?
Up to today.
You can confirm that prior to coming to this court, you had a case conference
Case conference with who?
with the police and the prosecution,
Police?
and or the prosecution.
Conference? I didn't conference with anyone.
Did you have a meeting to discuss your report?
No. A meeting to discuss my report?
You've never had any meeting with the prosecution to discuss this report? You're under oath.
To discuss this report?
Have you ever had any meeting with the prosecution to discuss your report?
They called me at one point to clarify something in my report.
So is the answer yes?
If the meeting you're referring to.
Is the answer yes?
That's the meeting you're referring to. Clarify, yes, clarify and the facts in my report.
Please.
Okay. Yambuza ngu nayikiriza ngu ebintu ebiri mu report bishikire yagira eyi yakozire yagira ngu ego bishikire kurugero kwa kumanya yambuza ngu ebintu byona byakozire akanabimanya yagira ngu ego yambuza ngu atakaretere report egi akatungaho meeting hamwe na state nice prosecution bakumbuza report yagira ngu ego bakambuza kugamba ha report yabibagambira.
So just so we can close on that point, can you confirm in your planning for this matter, you were advised to be evasive and to dodge the questions?
No.
So are you going to be evasive?
Why would I be evasive?
Answer my question.
No.
Are you ready to tell the truth, even if it is to the disadvantage of the party who has instructed you?
That's why I'm here.
Answer my question.
Yes.
You also wrote in your declaration and I want to read, you wrote in your declaration that the opinions expressed in your report represent your true and complete professional opinion. Is that correct?
Yes, it's written here, that's correct.
No. The question is, does this report represent your true and complete professional opinion?
As of this matter, yes.
I asked him if it represents his true and complete professional opinion, and he said it does. Yes. So I want you to read paragraph 4A of your report.
Paragraph 4 is analytical notes.
4A.
I'm going to A. Paragraph 4 is analytical notes. 4A, EPA and its derivatives have other uses, such as perfumery and as antioxidants in the rubber and elastomer industry.
DPA and its derivatives have other uses, such as in the perfumery and as antioxidants in the rubber and elastomer industry. Can you confirm that on the date you wrote that, you were telling the truth?
I was telling the truth.
Can you confirm that that represents your complete, true, and professional opinion?
It does.
Can you confirm that in your evidence in chief, you told this court that DPA and the derivatives you mentioned in this report are exclusive to gunshot residue?
I did.
Can you show us that statement in your evidence in chief in your report?
So, under analytical notes, -1, I indicate under the table.
Yes.
Are you seeing that? On the same page under the table here.
I'll be on page 2. We're looking right now. I've asked him to show me where it says in his report that DPA is exclusive to gunshot residue. And he's showing us the sentence.
So in our report, we have indicated that DPA has breakdown product derivatives, including 2-NDPA, 4-NDPA, and N-NDPA.
So just slow down. What you're talking about is the footnote.
Yes, what's your question?
My question is to show me in your report where you say that the derivatives of DPA you have listed in this report are exclusive to gunshot residue. Is that sentence there or it's not there?
It's not there.
So this report is in fact incomplete.
It's complete.
So which should we take? Your evidence in chief or your report?
It's the report is here.
Take the report. Okay. Now, just so we're on the same page,
My lord, may I suggest that given the technical nature, he pauses and so that she doesn't lose the interpretation.
Kansoka yanga yabuza omushaija ngu naikiriza ngu naza kugamba amazima omu kooti egi yagira ngu ego yambuuza ngu naikiriza ngu ebintu ebi yahandikire omu ripooti akabihandiika nk'omuntu oine obwengye kandi akabishoma yagira ngu ego yambuuza ngu naikiriza ngu ebintu byona ebi yagambire omu ripooti akagamba amazima ngu ego yamutwara aha peegi eya kabiri yambuuza ngu agambire kooti ahi yahandikire ekigambo gun exclusive gun to gunshot residue yamugira ngu kiriyo kirimu omu ripooti.
okay. You, just to be clear, if we still look at paragraph 4A, you say that DPA and its derivatives have other uses, such as in the perfumery and as antioxidants in the rubber and elastomer industry, right?
True.
So just so we are clear, the perfumery industry includes perfumes.
Mm-hmm.
Means yes.
Yes.
It includes cosmetics, some cosmetics.
Well, that one I'm not sure which this is some.
Are there cosmetics that are part of the perfumery industry?
I'm not sure for sure.
It includes deodorants.
Yes, deodorant could be.
Scented soap.
I don't know the extent of the perfumery industry for sure.
But the extent of the perfumery industry is wide.
I'm not an expert in perfumery.
You're the one who has written it here.
This is citation from literature.
Can you show us the citation?
If you ask me, if you ask me, I can deliver it.
No. Is it here?
Not here.
Okay. You also said rubber and elastomer industry. That would include rubber gloves, right?
Yes, it would include gloves.
Like the ones they use in hospital, right?
Yeah, I would think.
Okay. And also in the pharmaceutical industry, right?
The gloves.
I want you to go to page 1 of your report.
Yamutwara
Well, I'll do it shorter, but maybe better to make more progress. Then,
Where are we at now?
so go to page 1 of your report. Page 1 is this. Is P45. Is that one? Do you see case information?
Yes, I do.
Do you see the request date
Yes, it's indicated.
as the 10th of October 2022?
That was clarified. It's indicated
That's the
here.
answer. I'll come to the clarification.
Yes, it was indicated here as 10th of
Indicated as
October.
10th of October.
Yes.
And during your examination in chief, you said that was a mistake, correct?
Yes.
And you said that the correct date when you received the samples was the 10th of November, 2023.
That's correct.
So let's agree that that's the first error we've identified in your report.
It was clarified in court.
But it's an error in the report.
Yeah, it was error spelled out in court here.
Okay. Now, I want you to confirm that that's not the only dating error in your report.
You can show me any other. I have not seen.
Look at the bottom of that very page 1.
Okay.
It says Thursday, 13th November 2023, right?
Yes, it says so.
Can you confirm to this court that in fact you did not write your report on Thursday, the 13th of November 2023? This is false.
I don't get your question.
This date is false. You did not produce your report on Thursday, 13th November 2023, right?
I signed my report on the 13th of November 2023.
Answer my question. Your report contains a date, Thursday, the 13th of November 2023.
It contains that date. Yes.
I am putting it to you that on that date, you did not sign this report. Am I right?
But I don't know what is in
Am I
doubt
right?
here.
Did you sign
You're
it
not
on
right.
Thursday, the 13th? I'm not right.
Yes, I'm not right. It is signed on the 13th of November 2024, which is this date indicated here. It's the print date.
13th of November.
This is the print date of our report. It's 13th of November. If it was Thursday, then that's the date.
No. What if? Did you sign this report on Thursday, 13th November 2023?
Yes, I signed the report on the 13th of November 2023.
Thursday. Why are you missing out Thursday?
I'm not
I
sure.
you're going to be evasive.
I am not invasive.
It's a simple, straightforward question. Is the word Thursday written there?
The word Thursday is written here.
So did you sign it on that day?
Yes.
Thank you. I want to give you a calendar of 2023. I want you to find for me Thursday, the 13th of November. Is there a date in 2023 which was Thursday, the 13th of November?
On your calendar, it's not here.
Check on any other calendar you have.
I don't know. You can give me a calendar.
Use your phone.
I don't have my phone here.
Oh, my Lord, we can check. As she's translating, you can borrow a phone. You can borrow a phone and check the date. She can be
13th
translating.
November 2023. Okay. Yamutwara ha peje kubanza yambuza ibiro byokwezi ebyatiraho umukono aha chandike cye cyayotero mu ikoti yagira ngo akashitaho umukono aha biro byokwezi 13 ukwe 11 2023 yamugira ngo amoreke ibiro byokwezi ebyahari kalenda yo mwaka ogo yamugira ngo terho tukiriho cyakiro cyo kwezi yangira ngo akirondo musimu ye nashaha kalenda ndijoro ncyariyo naronda.
Have you found that date?
One second, unless someone has question. I cannot find it.
That date doesn't exist in November 2023, right?
Which date? This
Thursday,
date,
the
Thursday,
13th
it's
of
not on this
November
calendar.
2023.
It's not on this calendar of 2023.
Yamugira ngo cyakiro cyo kwezi 13 okwe 11 2023 tukiriho aha kalenda orwakana tukiriho.
So, The date on which you issued your report doesn't exist.
It exists.
The date on which you received the samples is wrong. The date on which you issued the report is wrong. You'll agree with me that these errors are cut and paste errors, right?
What do you mean by cut and paste errors?
They are the sort of mistakes you make when you overwrite a document that was already written.
That's not what I think it's true.
These are typos.
I mean, the first one here, 10th of October, was clarified for the typo.
No, you have two mistakes on your report regarding the date.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you that that is a common mistake when you are cutting and pasting in a document. You simply change the test items and some of the specimen numbers. You kept the rest the same and you printed, but you forgot to change the dates.
That's not true.
Yamgira ngu ekiro ky'okwezi ekya 13 ekizooba lya kana Thursday lya kana 2023 tikiriho aha kalenda eya 23. Yamgira ngu ekiro ky'okwezi ekyasayingireho report yagira ngu ekiro ky'okwezi ekyasayingireho report ki yamgira ngu ni mistake ezibakukora
When you're overwriting a document.
kubanu bahandika epapura byabo batakwegendesereza.
The next question is actually that one. The next question is, doesn't it reveal to us a terrible level of carelessness in the writing of this report?
It doesn't.
It shows a casual attention to detail.
It doesn't.
Does it show thoroughness?
It is that is a mistake that can be done by anyone.
Does it show?
What is written here at the bottom? I signed my name on the 13th of November 2023.
In front of the word Thursday.
No.
That was Franco who signed in front of the word Thursday.
Yes.
Nagira ngu reporter kagihandika yagisayininga ebiro by'okwezi 13 okwi 11/2023 nkonka kugira ngu n'orwakana ngu turiho ngu Franka niwe wasayiningire orwakana.
Okay, so I want us to use days now. Yeah. So let's get it right. So this report was written on what day of the week using the calendar?
So based on this calendar, 13th of November was the Monday.
Monday. And on what day were these samples received?
The samples were received on 10th of November. 10th of November was a Friday.
Okay. So you got?
Sorry?
So it's correct to say you got the sample on Friday, 10th November.
That's correct.
And you issued your report on Monday, the very next Monday, Monday the 13th of November.
The 13th of November, that's correct.
Once you get the samples, you told my learned friend that you do what you called documentation.
True.
Take us through that.
So when samples are received in our lab, just like indicated on PE 33, the receiving officer signs acknowledging receipt.
So on Friday, let's put it to facts. On Friday, 10th November, the receiving officer acknowledged receipt. You roughly have a time?
Roughly have a time?
Do you know what time those samples were received?
I think it was morning.
The morning. After he receives them,
After receives them, he does entries in the necessary registers. And after doing the documentation, filling the case information worksheet, he proceeds, conference and proceed to preparation of samples.
he receives them,
Mhm,
he fills them in registers.
mhm.
Have you brought those registers to court?
No,
Okay. After that, what does he do?
after that, I give them the methodology to use, the approach to do the
Just
analysis.
hold on. The work is not assigned by the head of department. They wrote to the head of department.
They wrote the head of department.
Yes.
By that time, I was the head of this lab.
I think they wrote to the head of. Did they write to you?
They wrote the head of department.
Was it you?
No, the head of department, our department has 2 big labs.
Yeah. So the letter here
Mhm.
on prosecution exhibit 32
Mhm,
is to the head of department, CBRNEA.
yes,
Is that you?
no.
So they wrote to this person.
Mhm.
So what happens when they write to him?
When I write to this person, he notifies me to pick the request and start processing it.
So let's take this process carefully.
Yes.
What comes first? PE 32 or PE 33? PE 32 is the internal memo, and PE 33 is the request form.
There are 2 internal memos. This one is not labeled. Kindly,
The one
PE
which comes first in your processes, you find it, you have the document.
the one which comes first is this one coming from Nasawali.
So Nasawali writes to the head of the lab,
Mhm.
who is not you.
It's not me.
Does the head of the lab write to you? Or it's a phone call, a WhatsApp, a text? How does he communicate to you?
In minutes on another document to assign the case to me, to our lab.
Then
When I receive it, I institute a team to proceed with analysis. And as I just told you,
So I want us to go slow. Friday the 10th of November,
yes,
Nasawali wrote,
yes,
the head of department appointed you,
appoint is being colloquial,
selected you, assigned you
maybe.
in a document we don't have,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
You then constituted a team.
Mhm.
You constitute your team by a document, by text message, by phone call, or by WhatsApp.
My people are always present in the lab.
You build a document. Is there a document where you assigned to a particular person work?
This section under which this analysis falls is headed by Soba Franco. So by default, when these requests come to our lab, it is falling within his section.
So it comes from head of department to you.
To me,
You
but-
forward it to Isoba.
to Soba Franco, the head of the section of explosive residue analysis.
So who constitutes a team?
I constitute a team,
You constitute a team for Isoba.
yes. Because if you want, I can explain, but
Then you talked about documentation. Is that the point at which documentation starts?
so once it has been given to Soba Franco
Yeah.
by me,
Uh-huh.
then he starts making the necessary entries
He makes entries where?
in the registers.
So at what point does he sign the internal request form?
Sorry?
At what point does he sign the internal request form?
Internal request form, he signs it as the person who acknowledges receipt of these test items.
No, we are moving.
Yes.
Friday morning,
Mhm,
Nasawali has written
mhm,
to the head of department, right?
Mhm.
Right?
mhm. Yes.
Same Friday morning,
Mhm,
head of department
Mhm.
has written to you,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
Same Friday morning, you have written to Isoba,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Does Isoba then sign this form after you write to him or before you write to him?
So Isoba Franco signs this form after I notify him to pick the test items.
After you write to him.
Yes.
Then after he picks these, he signs for these items.
Yes.
And then it goes into what you call documentation,
Yes.
which includes entering these items on your internal lab register.
Yes.
Thereafter, the team has a meeting
Yes.
and you assign work.
What I do is over has his technicians to conference the case and
How
they
many
proceed.
technicians?
We have 2 technicians at that section.
In this case, how many technicians were in this case?
1.
Is that 12 as Emmanuel?
No.
That one also doesn't sign.
This one is from a different department, requesting department.
No, your technician doesn't sign on any of the documents we have in court.
No.
Okay, then
Then after conferencing, they proceed to do analysis, run the samples on a machine,
so they proceed to do
what we call a real analysis.
what they call a what?
Analysis to prepare the samples.
So, yeah, that's what I want. I want to go in those steps.
Okay.
So on Friday morning,
Mm.
it would have been around 11, I assume,
It could have been around 1.
1 p.m. So Friday afternoon,
Mm.
is when they would have started preparing the samples.
Yes, sir.
How long does it take to prepare samples?
These were swabs.
How long
Roughly
does it
an hour. At maximum is an hour, but actually it should be less.
So Friday by 2 p.m., the samples were prepared.
Yes.
Do you also prepare the machine?
Prepare the machine.
Yeah, do you set up the instruments?
Our machine is always up and running, never goes off.
You don't clean it, you don't calibrate it, you don't do anything.
Calibration is colloquial. So our machine is never goes off because to put them on
You
require a
do
lot of
nothing to the
time.
machine.
Sorry?
You do nothing to the machine.
Do nothing to the machine is what exactly do you mean?
After you prepare the samples,
Mhm.
what do you do to the machine?
So after we prepared our samples, we initialize the machine.
How long does that take?
It could take somewhere around 5 minutes.
Then you run the samples in the machine.
We run the samples on the machine.
And when you run the samples in the machine, it means you would have gotten your results on Friday.
It doesn't take long.
How long does it take?
It would take like 2 hours, let's say.
How long?
2 hours, 1.5.
So by 5 p.m. on Friday, you are done with the analysis.
Samples were run and they are finished.
Is your evidence under oath that by
Yes.
5 p.m. on Friday,
Yes.
you are done with the analysis?
We are done with running the machine and then we come Saturday, Sunday to write the report.
Even Monday morning, this 2-page error report, you can do it even on Monday morning.
As you suggest, but we did it on a weekend, no problem.
So is the date of the report double wrong? You did it on a weekend, that's why you got the dates wrong.
We always work on a weekend.
Because this report is dated.
Yes.
So when did you write it?
13th of November.
Is that the weekend?
The report was written and signed off. Was signed off to another lab on the 13th of November.
Oh,
We prepared the samples, we ran the samples. Then the following day, we come to write the report, my lord. Saturday, sometimes Sunday.
in this case, not sometimes.
Yes.
We are talking about a specific case.
Mhm.
When was this wrongly dated report written?
The report was signed off on the 13th of November.
When was it written?
Okay.
When was it written?
It was written on the 13th of November.
So was it written on the Saturday or on the Monday?
No, because writing and signing off are different things. Which one do you want exactly?
When did you write it?
The report was written by the analyst over the weekend. I proofread it
Thank you very much. First stop there. The report was written by who?
by the analyst
Thank you.
indicated here.
So you would agree. Maybe you can translate. Let's see. Translator is not happy though she's looking at me.
Danger.
Not.
don't know where to start from, but I'm going to try. No, I wrote some, but I wrote them down. I'm going to try. Let me try.
Jonathan has many attachments.
Okay. Twatandikira aha biro by'okwezi 13 oku 11 bakumbuuza likaba liizooba ki yambwira ngu likaba liizooba lya Monday konka ripooti yene yeereka ngu n'izooba ly'Olwakana. Yambwira ngu ripooti bakagihandiika ryari, yambwira ngu akagihandiika izooba eryo ebiro by'okwezi 13 kw'Okwi11 2023. Yambuuza ngu ndyara rubatungire obw'obunanka bw'eshagama ku Bukyebera, yagira ngu bakabutunga ebiro by'okwezi 10 Okwi11 2023 karugizooba lya Lwakataano. Yambwira ngu bakaza omu maisho yakora tiimu eyakyebeire eby'eshagama konka batakakyebire bakabanza bahandiika ebi batunga omu register ya laboratory babihandikamu kubaheze kubihandika yaza omu maisho babikyebera. Yambuuza ngu ripooti bakagikora ryari, yagira ngu ripooti bakagikora Olwa mukaaga konka bakagisayininga ebiro by'okwezi 13 by'Okwi11 2023 izooba likaba liri erya Monday. Byambuuza ngu kukyebera eshagama ikatwara eshaaha ezikwingana ki, akamgira ngu ba eshaaha 11 ez'ebiro by'okwezi 10 okwa 11 2023 bakaba baheze kukyebera ebintu byona. Yambuuza ngu kuba batakakyebera eshagama nibakora ki aha mashini, yagira ngu nibagitamu ekibakubyoza nibagitaha nanka aha mashanyarazi eyozya kumara edakiika 5 batakatiiremu shagama kugikyebera.
Okay, so just so we can make some progress, after you write your report, you then forward it back to the head of department.
So when we write a report, we send it to the head of department, write the cover letter.
Okay. And that cover letter was written on Monday the 13th.
Of November. Yes.
And maybe we can give you the ballistics report, which would be, is it prosecution exhibit 31? Ballistics report. It's among those here. Just to save your time, Mr. Nasawali told us that he used your report to make conclusions to his. So can you just confirm the date of his own report?
So in his report, you mean this one?
Yes.
13th of November.
It was forwarded to him and he used it to write. So that means you would agree with me that it means you wrote and forwarded your 2-page report to the head of department by the end of the morning, latest, of Monday the 13th, around 11, right?
Would be true.
You're the one who knows.
Yes.
So you forwarded it around 11 a.m. on Monday. So evidence before this court is the allocation of the file, the preparation of the samples, the running of the test, analysis of the results, the interpretation of the results, and the writing of the report are concluded within less than 1 working day.
Mean working day? You mean Friday?
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, they were all concluded on Friday.
No?
Let me repeat.
Yes.
Is there evidence before this court that the allocation of the file, the preparation of the sample, the running of the test, the analysis of the results, the interpretation of those results are concluded on Friday, and the report was ready on Monday.
Report was ready on Monday.
And all these things were concluded on Friday by 5 p.m.
We worked on a Saturday.
No. Saturday was for report writing. You run us through a timeline. Are you changing your evidence?
No, I'm not changing my evidence.
The preparation of the sample, of the equipment, the running of the test, the analysis, and the interpretation. Everything was concluded by Friday.
So, if I understand your question, you can correct me, right? But you're saying that this receiving, constituting a team, preparing the samples and running them on the machine on the same day.
Yes, and getting results.
And getting results.
Yes.
Yes, that is true.
That happened on Friday.
It happened on Friday. I came
And
Saturday.
what was left was report writing,
Proofreading and report writing.
but not much proofreading was done.
yagira ngu ebintu byona ebyokutunga eshagama n'okugicebera kureeba ebyarigire omu kucebera byona bikakorwa izooba rimwe eriro wakataano ebiro 13 ebiro 10 oku 11 2023.
Now, you would agree that the test you did must be capable of being repeated by a third party.
That's true.
He agrees that the test he did must be capable of being repeated by a third party. It was the evidence of Mr. Nasawali that after you ran the swabs, you destroyed them. Is that true?
Yes.
And so that evidence, that test is therefore not capable of being repeated with those swabs.
You cannot repeat them on the same swabs.
Thank you. Now, look at paragraph 2 of that report, this one. Page 1.
You have given me ballistics report.
Your report.
Okay. Now you are clear. Yes.
There's something called methodology.
Yes.
Read it.
Analysis of gunshot residues on the liquid chromatography tandem mass spectrometry analytical system is as per DFS CBRN CHEM WISP 001 and DFS CBRN EA CHM WI INST 013 work instruction.
Now, it talks of work instructions, right?
Yes, it does.
And you can confirm that we asked you in this court for a copy of those work instructions, right?
You asked.
And you can confirm that you declined to give them.
We gave you.
No. Did you give us these particular work instructions?
We gave you a publication where the work instructions are.
Just we'll come slow. We'll come to the publication. First of all, can you confirm you did not give us these two work
We
instructions?
did not give you.
Now, instead, you shared with my learned friend, Mr. Mwakani, a copy of a study, and you sent it to him via WhatsApp, right?
That's true.
I'll show you the WhatsApp message that was forwarded to us. I want you to confirm if this is the same.
I'm clear in your question?
Is that what you forwarded, Mr. Morgan? The bottom two.
This paper, you mean?
The forwarded. It's his forwarded message to us. Is that what you forwarded him?
I forwarded him this one here, the paper, publication here,
Yes.
organic explosive residues from
Kanso yabuuza ko omushaija ngu baheza kuceberesha agamba ngu nebaasa kugarukamu ekacebera yagira ngu ego yamugira ngu kumukuheza okagira ngu mukagambira kooti nkumukuba kuheza kuceberesha agamba ngu nimugidestroy what is destroy ngo yagira ngu ego ati yamubuuza ngu abwenki nogira ngu kandi ngu nibubabireho kandi ogisire ngu nibubabireho ekindi yamutwara aha ripooti eyi yakozire aha peegi eya kabiri yambuuza ngu bakabahereza okubakyebire obwo obuganga bw'embundu yamugira ngu ego ngu bakabahereza aha ripooti eyi bayetire publications yamugira ngu ego bakakyeza kwonka obu yagira ngu hariho batarabahiire then ekindi yamugira ngu hariho report yahiire omuntu omwe aha WhatsApp yagira ngu ego yamuheeza WhatsApp message yamubuuza ngu niyejo yamugira ngu ego ngu niyejo akagimuheereza ogwo omuntu yamuheeza report yenyini agireebe yaba niyejo yagira ngu ego then kanso yashaba ngu report hamwe na WhatsApp message abiheyo omu court.
My Lord, just for clarity before we respond, did your document include the publication certificate? No. The paper. My Lord, regarding the paper authored by the witness, we have no objection. We only object to the tendering of the communication between myself and him. This can't, what is funny? This can't be tendered through the witness. He can call me my Lord as a witness. But even but even then, my Lord, when one deals with electronic evidence, my Lord, the rules are stricter. In other words, the communication must be authentic, original. And my Lord, my communication, if Mr. Karuhanga wants to expose the communication between myself and him, my phone is still here, and you can see that what he now intends to tender through this witness is doctored. It's a doctored communication. And my Lord, this professional, this is a professional fraud. My phone is here, but my Lord, I can avail it for the inspection of court, and you will see that he cut out the communication and conveniently joined the messages, and he wants to tender them through the witness. So my Lord, if he insists that this has to be tendered. I can go to the details of how he has doctored this communication.
If, my lord, what is important about that communication? My lord, can I say why for us it's important? My lord, disclosure was made in court by court order through a WhatsApp message at a particular time. It is a point I intend to argue, and I need the evidence. Now, Mr. Mwaganya wants to publish a longer extract of our conversations between ourselves, our very warm, friendly, and jovial conversations. I have absolutely no problem with that. My interest, my lord, is that the message was received on the 2nd of April at 15:43 p.m.
But that's already on record. That he gave it to you that afternoon.
And the second thing, my lord, is that every item of disclosure that has been made, a copy of that disclosure has been availed to the court. Important for record purposes that the type of method that this evidence was disclosed also.
It's already on record. This will suffice.
Okay, I'm actually like, let's move forward. I'm actually like, Mr. Mwaganya, we can share our messages in channel.
No, it isn't.
My lord, I'm obliged. There's no need for us. No, my lord, I object. Yes, I object to that sort of language, my lord.
No, my lord, that is true. My lord, I actually take exception.
I object.
That my colleague was comfortable doctoring my communication, and he wanted it on court record, my lord. This is
Do you have
improper.
another message to me on the 2nd of
My
April?
phone is here, my lord.
Sure you
Even
have.
court can look at what this man was, what my colleague was intending to tender. My lord, we take exception. Yes. The rest is.
Yeah, but I think the language, my lord.
No,
I think we're taking a lot of insults at the bar.
And audio and
my lord.
and brotherly.
Yes.
Not for me.
Whoever is my
Let
brother.
us think.
Yeah.
Taking
You
our-
can't.
Can you give it back to me?
We are taking
No.
now
We tend
evidence
to-
on our part.
My lord, Mr. Morgan also said that to prove tell that this thing, I may need to call him. And he witness.
kansa yanagira ngu nashaba what
We're marking it. That's a change. We don't use it.
I leave it.
Submitted and marked with the publication.
Okay, so DE6. My lord, again, very indulgent, if I could share a copy. My lord, we may have DE6 already. I think we even have DE7. Procedure manual.
D14.
Yes. Yes, D14.
We stopped at 13, so it's 14, you're right.
Okay, so. Now, you have a copy of that study with you?
Let me one not here.
Let me give you my copy. So the court can stay with its copy. So please return my.
I can photocopy for you.
Hmm?
I can photocopy for you. Please proceed.
So, my lord, you can confirm that what you sent us was an academic writing, correct?
That's correct.
And you claimed it specifically contained your work instructions, right?
If anyone scientifically followed it,
You claimed.
yes, it contains the instructions. Yes.
Just confirm that what you shared with us is a publication in the Journal of Geoscience and Environmental Protection, GEP, volume 13, number 3 of 2025, from pages 87 to 105.
I confirm.
So, my lord, that is a journal article from the Journal of Geoscience and Environmental Protection, volume 13, number 3, 2025, from page 87 to 105. I want you to confirm that this document was received by the journal on the 21st of January, 2025.
That's true.
I want you to confirm it was accepted for publication on the 10th of March, 2025.
That's true.
And I want you to confirm that it was published on the 13th of March, 2025.
You're right.
And I want you to confirm that your report in this case was written allegedly on the 13th of November, 2023.
2023. You're right, Counsel.
So your evidence on oath in this court is that a document published on the 13th March 2025 contains the work instructions of November 2023, right?
That's true.
I want you to go with me to page 92, paragraph 2.6.
Paragraph
2.6.
where you have indicated with the mark.
Yes. Read the sentence that is marked.
Sentence you have marked here reads that soil samples were collected in October 2024 from the study sites, OKD1, OKD2, Bibia, and the Wood mining sites located in Amuru district, northern Uganda.
So, the samples for this study were collected in October 2024, right?
You're right.
Almost 1 year after you wrote your report, right?
You are right.
And confirm the samples we are dealing with are not swabs or fabrics.
These are soil samples.
We are dealing with soil samples.
True.
And by the time those samples were collected, you had already been summoned as a witness in this case, right?
By time?
Those samples, or in October 2024.
No.
By the time the journal was written, in March 2025, you had already been summoned as a witness in this case.
I don't remember when I was summoned, but March?
March is last month. Can't be that far. It's not like November 2020.
Of course it's not.
Yeah.
But I have to recollect whether I was summoned.
That.
I have to recollect my mind on this one.
Okay. but it would have been around the time.
I have to collect my mind on this one.
Okay. By the time the soil samples were collected and by the time the report was written, he had already been summoned as a witness in this case. And he can't remember when he was summoned. The answer. I want you to read for this court the title of your study.
The title of our study, you mean this one?
Your title.
Yes, organic explosive residues from demining sites in Amuru district, northern Uganda.
Organic explosive residues from demining sites in Amuru district, northern Uganda.
You are right.
Can you confirm that this heading has absolutely nothing to do with gunshot residue?
You are wrong.
Was gunshot residue included in this study?
Components of gunshot residues were included.
Was gunshot residue included?
Components of gunshot residue were included in the study.
Is there a word gunshot residue in this report? For the author, did you write those 3 words? Gunshot residue.
It's not indicated here,
Thank
the
you.
wording.
Thank you. Now you talked about components. I want you to go to page 93.
Page 93. There I am.
You're at page 93.
Please.
I want you to look at the table on page 93.
You mean table 3?
Yes, table 3. Just confirm these are the compounds you looked for in that study.
These are the compounds that were detected in that study.
I want you to confirm one of them is called RDX.
One of-
Capital R, capital D, and X.
You're right.
And I want you to confirm you did not look for it in this case.
You're right.
I want you to confirm the next one is called HMX. Capital H, capital M, capital X.
You're right.
You did not look for it in this report.
True.
I want you to confirm there's one called TETRYL.
Tetrail.
Tetride.
Yes.
Small letters. TETRYL.
Right.
You did not look for it in this study.
True.
I want you to confirm one of them is called PETN.
Etin.
Capital letters. Capital
Sure.
P, capital E, capital T, and capital N.
You're right.
You did not look for it in this study.
We did.
You did not.
We did.
Show it to us in analytical notes. PETN.
Yeah,
Capital
you're
P,
right. Petin is not included in analytical notes.
PETN is not included.
You're
Thank you.
right. It's not included.
Confirm one of them is called TNT.
TNT, you're right.
You did not look for it in this report.
It's not indicated in the table in our report.
Thank you. Confirm that in the soils of Amuru, which you are looking at, you did not recover a single round of ammunition from a pistol.
Sorry?
In this study, in the soils of Amuru, where you are looking for explosive residues, you did not recover and review a single round of ammunition from a pistol.
Single round. We're not looking for ammunition from a pistol.
You didn't find pistol stuff in there. You didn't find lead.
We didn't find
You are not looking for pistol pins, for gunshot residue.
pistol things.
Were you looking for gunshot residue in this study?
We applied this study.
Were you looking for gunshot residue in this study? You can say yes, we were, or no, we were not.
We are not looking for gunshot
Thank
residues
you.
in this study.
Now, I want you to go to page 91 paragraph 2.5.3.
2 points.
Page 91, paragraph 2.5.3. Accuracy and precision.
I'm there.
Read.
The whole of it.
Yes.
The intraday precision and accuracy were determined within 1 day by analyzing 5 sample replicates within 1 day at concentrations of 50 nanograms per ml and 250 nanograms per ml for the respective target compounds. The intraday precision and accuracy were determined on 5 separate days at identical concentrations.
Stop there. It is fair to say that this study took at least 6 days.
You're right.
And the one in court took 8 hours.
You are right.
I want you to go to page 89.
'89, I'm there.
I want you to read 2.1.
2.1 looks at study area. The study was conducted at Amuru demining sites located in northern Uganda. Figure 1. The sites were chosen because of their continuous use in the demolition of unexploded munitions.
So, the study was conducted at Amuru demining sites located in northern Uganda. Figure 1. The sites were chosen because of their continuous use in the demolition of unexploded munitions. Confirm to this.
Come again.
There's nothing like an unexploded munition in this case.
Which case?
The one you're testifying about, the samples you received, were they unexploded munitions?
For us, we received samples as swabs and clothing.
So were they unexploded munitions? Were you looking for
We
unexploded
received swabs and pieces of clothing for this test I'm testifying for.
So that's a very good answer to another question. How about you answer mine?
What's
In
your
this case, were you testing for unexploded munitions?
In which case? I
In the
have to
case
have
you're
my report. I
testifying-
have this case
In
here.
the case you're testifying in court about,
Yes.
were you looking for unexploded munitions?
We are looking for gunshot residues.
So you were not looking for unexploded munitions.
We are looking for gunshot residues.
Okay, now I want us to go to page 92.
92, I'm there.
Do you see paragraph 2.7?
2.5, sample preparation.
Yes, 2.7.
True.
Read that heading again.
Sample preparation.
That is the work instruction in this case.
It is a part of the work instruction in this case.
Let us see.
Mhm.
Read it for us.
Before analysis, the collected soil samples were air dried at room temperature.
Just stop there. In this case, were the swabs air dried at room temperature?
They were already dry.
Were they air dried at room temperature?
They were already dry.
They were not. Were they air dried at room
They were
temperature?
already dry.
Does that mean they were dried or they were not dry?
They were already dry when they
When you
submitted
told
us.
them they were dried. My question, please answer my question. When you got the swabs, did you air dry them at room temperature?
When we received the swabs, they were already dry.
So the answer is you did not. You promise not to be evasive.
Come clear on your question.
Very clear. When
Yeah,
you
Rich.
got the samples, did you air dry them at room temperature?
No, because they were already dry.
Next. Next sentence, please.
Hey,
That
you
we
want
are
me to
now
read?
sample preparation.
Yes.
Read the next sentence.
So the next sentence is the dried soil sample was sieved to particle size less than 2 millimeters using a mechanical sieve shaker.
Did you use a mechanical sieve shaker to sieve the swabs in this case?
No,
Thank you. The next one.
the sieved soil samples were carefully homogenized by turning several times in a plastic bag before a subsample was taken for analysis.
Did you turn the swab several times in a plastic bag?
We turned the swab in an append tube.
Did you turn the swabs several times in a plastic bag?
We turned the swab several times in an append tube.
Did you use a plastic bag?
No.
Thank you. We're using, this is the work method you told us to go to.
Yes.
So far, you can confirm there is no correlation
There is a very high correlation.
between soil and swabs.
There's a very high correlation.
Okay, but from what we have read so far, there is no
There's
correlation.
a very high correlation.
Let's continue.
Mhm.
We're going to find this very high correlation.
Yes.
Extraction was performed. Let me read maybe. You
Please.
confirm.
Mm.
Extraction was performed by the method reported by Numbera with slight modifications.
Mhm.
Briefly, 2 grams
Grams.
of each soil sample
Mhm.
was mixed with 10 millimeters of methanol eccentrite
Mhm.
and extracted on an overhead shaker for 18 hours.
Mhm.
Can you confirm there were not 18 hours in this case?
You're right.
So you did not mix them with something and extract them over 18 hours.
You're right.
Then you say extracts were centrifuged. And that one we can leave, those are your technical terms. Now, I want us to go to the next one, 2.8 instrument analysis.
Instrument analysis. Should I read?
No?
You can read.
I just want to read one sentence from it,
Please.
which is the LCMS. Do you see it?
Point it.
It starts, I think it is
The fourth line. Yes, I've seen it. Mm.
yes.
Hmm?
The LCMS method, the LCMS instrument was operated in the APCI mode of ionization.
Yes.
In your methodology, do you say that here? Do you mention the mode of ionization?
If you went to the work instructions, it's there.
No. In
The
your
inst-
listen to my question.
Yes.
In your methodology here, do you mention the type of ionization?
In here, no.
Can you confirm that there are various types of ionization?
There are various types of ionization.
For the LCMS.
Yes.
And the one you use is not mentioned here.
It's not mentioned in our report, but it's the one we use for the analysis.
No. You don't have this.
Okay.
Your report is not complete. It is complete.
It is complete.
Does it mention the type of ionization you used?
It mentions them in the instrumental work instructions.
If we don't have.
Yes.
Now, I want you to go to page 93, paragraph 2.11.
93, I'm there. Paragraph
2.11. I want you to
2.11.
read the ethical considerations of this study.
The study was conducted after ethical approval by the Gulu University Research Ethical Committee and the Uganda National Council for Science and Technology. The bomb disposal experts helped to show the demining sites with brief information on the vital aspects that are of great help in the amount of explosive compounds in soils. The sample collected was strictly for this study and not for any other purpose. All the information on the study sites was kept private and treated with the confidentiality it deserves.
So, the sample was strictly for what purpose?
For this study was
The sample was collected was strictly
for this
for
study
this study and what?
and not for any other purpose.
And not for any other purpose.
You are very right.
And the study was conducted after approval by who?
By the
Gulu
University Research Ethical Committee.
Ethical Committee.
Right.
Are you a member of the Gulu University Research Ethical
I
Committee?
am not a member.
Is your lab part of Gulu University?
No, it's not.
When you come to a court of law and say that your work instructions are globally published because you're scared of, what did you call it? Proprietary information, and you bring up a Gulu University study, are you being evasive and dishonest?
I am not dishonest.
What's the
I am
cover
not
page?
decisive. I am at the cover page.
Authors,
Yes.
confirm.
Yes.
The author is Jimmy Ochaya.
One of my staff.
No. Paragraph, look at the footnote. Jimmy Ochaya, Department of Chemistry,
Yes.
Gulu University.
Yes.
Thank you. The second one, Beatrice Arwenyo.
Hmm.
Can you confirm she's also from the Department of Chemistry of Gulu University?
That's true.
The third one, Achaye Ongwench. Can you confirm he is also from the Department of Chemistry of
That's
Gulu
true.
University?
That's true.
Proscovia Namuyomba.
That's true.
Department of
Chemistry.
Gulu University.
You're right.
Alfonso Pio,
Hmm.
Department of
Biology.
Gulu University.
You're right.
Harriet Angwench,
Hmm.
Department of
Biology.
Biology, Gulu University.
You're right.
And Jaffa.
Yeah, yeah.
Where?
Forensics.
Forensics. This thing you brought up, can you explain to us how Gulu University studies soil? It can nowhere can it be said that it's the work instructions of the Uganda Police Force. I put that to you.
Well, do you need an explanation for that?
No, I want you to tell me if 2.11 is true or false. Whether this study was for the soil samples collected, was strictly for this study and not for any other purpose.
The soil samples collected were strictly for this study and not for any other purpose.
Thank you. And you are using them as evidence for gunshot residue.
You're using them as evidence for the methodology.
Of sample preparation.
Evidence for methodology, for sample prep, and for instrumentation.
And you would agree with me that in academic writing, the principal author of this document is the person whose name appears first and whose email is in the document.
In academic writing, there are two vital positions.
But that's one of them.
The last is the originator of the idea.
Yeah, the last is like the
The
supervisor.
first, come clear. Don't
Yeah.
mislead God. The first is the student. The last is the originator of the idea.
The person
And
did
the
the work
principal
is the
analyst
first.
for this
The
case
person did the
study.
work is the first.
Yes, this is your student.
And the email address here is to.
Reference for the
If
student.
I have a question about this study, who am I supposed to email?
Indicated here, Ochaya Jimmy.
Or Chaya Jimmy?
Yes.
Thank you. So if I have any question, I shouldn't even ask you.
If you have any question, you can ask me as one of the authors.
Well, they have told us who to ask. Are you aware that it is possible to, maybe she can translate.
Where do I begin from? Okay, ayo nambuza ha report yakutte mu ngalo. Yambuza ngu egyo report ekairye yakyo yambwira ngu ekairye y'okushoma yambwira ngu erimu akagitunga ebiro by'okwezi 21 okwokubanza 2020 ogw'omwaka actually then yagikora nasho bagita publication. What is publication? Bagita mu mahore ebiro by'okwezi 15 accepted for publication. Yes. Which one? So where was it publicized? Okay, bashohoza ebiro by'okwezi 10 okwakashatu ogw'omwaka. Yagira ngu report ye yanambuza entandikiro eri hagati y'ekyo ekitabo hamwe na report ye. Yagira ngu report ye akagikora ebiro by'okwezi 13 okw11 2023. Yambugira ngu ekikumanyisa okakora report egi ekyo ekitabo kiri mukakishoza ogw'omwaka konka report okagikora omwaka ogwire kandi negamba ha kitabo eki. Yagira ngu ego hati nkiza kitya nikyo yanambuza. Yamutwara ha page ya kabiri paragraph 2.6 yambuza ngu obutweka bw'embundu bakabutunga ryari. Yambwira ngu n'ebiro by'okwezi 10 omwaka oguhwire ababutungire nashahi bawihire ni okidi nebi. Then ekindi yambuza ngu kubaheza kubutunga bakanu bakora hariki bakambwira ngu yagira ngu bakanu bakora ahitaka sample soil. yambwira ngu kikiriza gamba amazima ngu egi report teine kyekwetenera hamwe na gunshot residue. What is gunshot residue? Obuganga bw'embundu tiine kyekwetenera ha buganga bw'embundu. Then yamutwara ha page ya 99 yambuuza ngu bakazitunga lyari swabs z'obuganga bw'embundu ezo. Obuganga bw'embundu bakabutunga lyari. Yamugambira ngo bakanu nibaronda obuganga bw'embundu kuba bino bakibera nakikuba bino bakora report eyi bagikorire. Yambuuza report bakagikorera nkahi, jamugira bakagikorera guru. Yamugambira abantu ababure bariho ahakora report abakukira bona nibaruga guru university. Omuntu omwe wenka niwe warugire mu Uganda Police. Hati yamugire ngo agamba amazima ngo egi report tekubasa kuba ya Uganda Police kandi abantu abakukira bagikozire nibaruga mu guru university.
And trace material left behind after a bomb explosion, right?
Clear?
It is possible to identify trace materials left behind after a bomb explosion, right?
That's true.
In fact, it's possible to identify the materials after any explosion, right? Not just a bomb, like
If a microphone explodes, what are you going to press?
so the answer yes or no.
Because they are saying any material and you want me
Okay,
to
so
the
bomb.
blanket
Let's stick
one.
to bomb. It's possible to detect and identify materials after bomb explosions, right?
That's true.
It's also possible to identify the cause of a fire, right?
The cause of fire?
Yes, if it was petrol, if it was something
Yep,
else.
that's true.
And these techniques are what we call fire and explosive residue analysis, right?
Techniques we call fire and explosive, no?
Yes, this is fire. You can explain to us fire and explosive residue analysis.
It could fall in there, colloquially.
But there's such a thing as fire and explosive residue analysis.
That's true.
And it's different from gunshot residue analysis.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
Are you telling this court that all the studies on gunshot residue analysis would apply to fire?
But if in a fire something that was burnt explodes and it's gunpowder,
Gunshot residue. Isn't there a specific field of science called gunshot residue analysis?
well, if you want to call it a specific field, I don't think it is specific like you want to coin it.
Let me give you an example.
Give me.
Do you know a university called Lincoln University?
Yes.
It's where you did your master's.
True.
They teach a module, you did a master's in forensic science.
You're right.
And one of the modules is fire and explosive analysis.
You're right.
This is the module overview. Tell me if it's correct. According to your teachers, students have the opportunity to develop knowledge in the physics and chemistry of fire and explosions, which is then used to interpret fire and explosion scenes. Fieldwork, laboratory work will provide the context for the knowledge delivered in lectures and workshops. Laboratory skills can be developed from the modules covered earlier in the course, and emphasis will be placed on students working on individual problems. According to your university, fire and explosive residue analysis gives you an opportunity to learn the physics and chemistry of fire.
Thailand.
So now listen,
Yes.
before I give you a look,
Yes.
I want us to first agree.
Please.
Is this what is taught at Lincoln University?
But you're holding it. Let me have a look at it.
Lincoln University website. For the course unit, Masters in Science of Forensic Science, which I read from his LinkedIn page.
Masters of Science.
In Forensic Science.
I did an Erasmus Mundus Masters.
Mundus Master. Yes, but that one is on their page. Masters in Science, Forensic Science.
So, when did you access this webpage?
You are the one here to answer questions.
Yes. When did you access this webpage?
No. You're the one.
When did you access this webpage?
Am I on off?
No.
Are you on off?
I'm going to answer you, but I need to know when you access
No,
this
answer
webpage.
me.
What should I answer you?
Don't ask me, answer me.
What should I answer you?
That's what they taught you.
This one here, it varies over time. So I don't know when you accessed. I don't know when you accessed.
Last night.
Well, could have changed over time.
I
Content could have changed
last
over time.
night.
The content could have changed over time. So I cannot answer to what you accessed last night.
No.
I started a module in fire. Yes, I did, my lord. Yes, I did, my lord. You are narrowing it. I don't know what this, whether it has changed. I have studied fire and explosive residue analysis at Lincoln University. These modules change over time because of quality assurance issues. So you want me to attest to this one which you collected overnight? That's not really fair.
What is fair?
Point is.
What's your
try to
point?
Find out. Go to your point.
Yes.
My point is there a science called fire and residue explosive analysis?
There is a course called fire and residue analysis.
That course, they teach you the physics and chemistry of fire and explosions.
I taught in that course, those components are taught.
Thank you. So the answer is yes.
Yes.
Give me back my thing.
I can photocopy for you your paper.
And in that course unit, they don't teach you gunshot residue. There's another course unit for gunshot residue.
On the same web page?
No, in science.
But you are referring to the same web page. Because in our masters, that gunshot, in our masters, gunshot residue was covered under this module.
No evidence of that.
Well, you didn't get
Oh, but
a.
it was separately covered from fire.
It is covered under that module.
But separately from fire.
In that module.
But separately from fire.
In that module.
Council what? Not that. Everything.
Yes,
As you're learning about fire and explosion.
my lord.
Are you also learning about gunshot residue? at
Yes,
the
my
same
lord.
time or different?
At the same time. Because they.
You can give us those course units that you did,
Yes, I can give you my transcript if you so wish.
and we'll have on it gunshot residue.
It has the course listed there, fire and explosives. My lord, this is the curriculum. What is presenting is the curriculum for the course.
Answer my question.
My transcript does not bear a curriculum. It bears the courses I attend.
As you're learning about in fire and explosions
Yes,
course,
yes,
residue analysis,
yes.
you have a component
Of
under
gunshot
a
residue.
topic, or what do they call it?
Yes.
Topics
A module.
or module.
The course, yes.
So in that module, do they teach you about inorganic gunshot residue
They do.
and organic?
They do.
But you would agree that they are different from the causes of fire.
They're different from?
Fire
They're different from fire. Yes. To some extent.
and from explosions.
Not really.
If I fired a gun here, would this place explode?
Depends on what you're firing at, but I'm not an expert in guns.
Okay.
In guns.
You're not an expert in guns.
Yes. Firing of guns.
So my question is simple. I'm talking about gunshot residue
Yes.
and fire and explosive residue.
Yes.
When I mention these two things, I am talking about two different things, right?
Depends on the application.
But am I talking about two different things?
Fire and explosion and gunshot residue.
Yes.
But they're all coming from an explosion.
Am I talking about two different things? Please answer my question. I'm not asking for, are there similarities and
You
differences?
could, because you
For
could be talking
example,
about.
if they say Chisito and me,
Yes.
you can't say they both have eyes.
Mhm.
Let's answer my question. When I talk about gunshot residue and fire and explosives,
Mhm.
am I talking about two different things?
No.
So it's fire and it's fire something that someone who's looking for gunshot residue is looking for?
No,